friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rainy. This is Rainy Day Reads, and today we are going to talk about cross stitch. This will be my April and May update for my Flosstube. The last update I had was another 2 months update. I don't generally like to go 2 months without updating you, but it just seems like that is the way that this year is working out. Um, in February and March, those months were just super busy for me, and April and May were kind of the same. And I couldn't get it together to do monthly updates for both of those months. So here we are. We're doing a 2 month update again. So we'll see if the same thing happens in June. I don't know. Hopefully not, but remains to be seen. Anyway, let's just get right into this, because we all know that I can chatter, and I probably will try to talk about some life stuff at the end. So let's just get to the knitting and the stitching before I do all that. So since I mentioned knitting, let's just briefly talk about the knitting. I did finish the shawls that I was making for my coworkers. I did finish the second one, and they have been gifted and have been being enjoyed because luckily for me, as far as the gift is concerned, the weather in Pennsylvania for the last few weeks has been not very spring-like, not very summer-like. It's been more like autumn around here. It's been raining and cold and just kind of depressing, to be honest with you. So the shawls have actually come in kind of handy at the office for the guys, because while it can be kind of muggy, we'll turn the air on and then it gets really cold. So they actually have been kind of wearing them for that. I don't know if they're just like trying to be nice or what, but they seem to like them, and they have said they're very cozy. Even though they look giant to me, on men, they don't really look that big. So I probably could have made them bigger, but I was over it by now, by the time I was done with the second one. So yeah, that happened. I did take a picture of them in their shawls, but I did promise that I would not put that picture on the internet. So very sorry, but that picture is just going to have to be for me to enjoy and maybe put in my planner scrapbook kind of thing, just for, chuckles. But yeah, they were definitely enjoying them the first day that I gave them to them. So, but that kind of reignited my passion for knitting. Even though I was over those shawls by the end of it, I did kind of feel the desire to pick up some knitting again. So I picked up my Flutter Butt Shirt by Jessie Made Designs. And I had been knitting this with a knit along that was hosted by Devin over at Knitty McPurley. I'll put her information below. She called it the Flutterbutt cow, because for some reason, even though it's really not that different, we think Flutterbutt sounds better than Flutter Butt Shirt. I mean, it's basically the same thing, but just the emphasis makes it feel a little nicer than butt shirt. But this is supposed to be, I think, like loungewear. So it's supposed to be loose and kind of more like PJs. There actually is oh, well, here, I should probably show you the picture. This is what the shirt will look like in the end. Hopefully, anyway. I am right now on this top portion, and then after it's done, I'll have to put on the ruffles on both sides. But this front part is, well, it's knit in the round, at the bottom here, and then you kind of like split for the sleeves, but you're splitting for the front panel and the back panel. So I'm on the front panel right now, and I'm having kind of a crisis with it that I think it's going to be way too big, but I don't know because it's supposed to be kind of loose, and so I feel like maybe it'll be okay. But I'm just going to trust the process, I think. But here, let me show it to you. Oh, and I started to say that because this is loungewear, there's also a separate pattern for a pair of shorts that goes with it, which I'm kind of thinking maybe I might make. But we'll see how this one turns out first. Because I've never made shorts before, and I think it would be kind of fun to try them, but we'll see. So anyway, okay, so right now, here is the front, and then this is the part that I split, and I have, stitches on hold for the back panel. So see, it kind of, I mean, you don't know how big I am really, but this feels big to me, and technically it is a 3X size, which is too big for me. But I used the yarn that I'm using is very thin. It's a fingering weight technically, but I feel like it's almost closer to a lace weight, like kind of in between the two. It is a Sestari yarn, I believe is the company. It's out of Mount Vernon, Virginia. And it's a cotton flax blend, I believe. I've had this for years. I actually have like 5 whole skeins of this because I started to make a boxy sweater by Joji Locatelli. And this thin yarn on a boxy sweater, which as the name suggests, it was boxy and big, was taking me forever, and I got so bored of it, so irritated. It was like 500 stitches on the needle. And I was just like, I can't anymore. This is too much. So anyway, I wanted to use this up because I have like 5 skeins of it, and I'm not going to use it up with this particular shirt. But because this is so thin, it's not quite a fingering weight. So the gauge, I wasn't able to get gauge for what the Jessie Made Designs suggests for the flutter butt shirt. And so Devin at Knitty McPurley, she has come up with what she calls the Gauge Switcheroo worksheet. And it's just a worksheet that helps you calculate all the numbers with what gauge and needle size that you're using, and to try to get as close to the right size for you as you can. So when I did all that and, I swatched and got what my gauge was with the needles that I was using to make them, to just have it be nice, ended up being a 3X size, and I'm not typically a 3X size. So I was a little like, that's a little big, but I'm going to trust it. And for a while, it seemed like it was going to be okay. But now that it's off the needles, or I mean, now that it's partially off, I'm like, I don't know. But this is the front panel. And I guess, I don't know if I don't know. It could go down there and then I could just make a little ruffle. I don't know. We're going to see. It might still be quite big, but because it is a cotton flax, I'm thinking that I might be able to shrink it in the dryer a little bit, and maybe if I don't do it like too much, maybe it'll be okay, and I can kind of salvage it and make it my size if it comes out too big. Have you ever done that? Please weigh in. Tell me if you've ever had any success purposely shrinking something to kind of fit you a little bit better. Something handmade that you have wanted to shrink. because I'm a little nervous about that, but also I don't want to rip this one out too. I already am ripping out the boxy. That's why this yarn looks like this, because this is the yarn that I ripped out of the boxy, and there's still a whole other skein that I haven't ripped out yet. That shirt was, jeez, was so big. So anyway, I mean, this is kind of putting me now in a knitting slump because I feel like it's going to be too big. But I'm trying to trust the process, trust the gauge switcheroo, and, just keep going. And hopefully it won't take me too much time to finish it, but we'll see. It's taking it. It also seems like it's taking forever. The knit along, well, ended a long time ago. They've already had another cow and finished that already, and I'm still working on the first one. So that didn't go quite to plan, but whatever. It's kind of like stitching. When people do stitch alongs, it's like more like a start along because nobody ever finishes on time, it seems like. So that is really my only knitting right now. In June, for my June update, which I will hopefully post on time, I will have some haul that is knitting related, but right now I do not because it's still on its way to me. So I will hopefully update you on that later. Okay, let's get on to the knitting. We'll start with the knitting. Let's get on to the stitching. I will start with, I have a finish. Yay, let's start with my finish. Okay, so I thought this is an April finish, and I thought that I had already posted about it here, but I didn't. I think I posted about it on Instagram. So if you follow my Instagram, you will have already seen this. But I finished Shakespeare quotes by Taylor and Cromwell. I think they have their own website now, but I originally got this pattern on Etsy. This was done on, I believe, a 14 count or 16 count, I think, maybe 18 count, black Ada. I think it was 16 count black Ada. And I actually have a board, which I almost dropped, if you heard that. And here is, oh no, I have to try to roll back here. All right, my finished piece. It looks really nice. I like it a lot. So I have to figure out what I want to do with this now. I'm thinking that I would like to hang it in my office, but I just have those cubicle walls. So I'm thinking of just doing this on like a canvas kind of a thing, and stretching it out on a canvas, and then just do some kind of hanger that I can hang on some hooks in my cubicle. I don't know, but that's for another day. But I think I've said before, this took me so long because it's on black, and it was 2 strands, and I just don't like either of those things anymore. I really don't like doing 2 strands anymore, now that I've gotten the hang of one strand stitching. And this black fabric, it just was hard to work with, and then the 2 strands on the black fabric, I just felt like you saw all the fuzz that was coming off of it, and so it was a pain to work with, but the result is very nice. So I can't wait to get the motivation to actually finish this and hang it up. I think that would look nice. The other option I was thinking of is, I've seen these big artist portfolios, and I know like Laura from Stitching by the Shore, she does scrapbooking of her pieces, and I've started to think about trying to put a lot of my bigger pieces in one of those big artist portfolios. So that is also an option, but I think what I'll do first is just put this on some kind of thin canvas, that I could take off easily if I wanted to and put it in a scrapbook, but at least for now I could have it hung up. So that is maybe my ultimate plan. I don't know. So that is finish. Well, the only finish I have, but yay, this is also my oldest whip. So I'm very excited to have this done. Okay, so the next things I'm going to show you are my whips from April. I did 1,000 stitch rotation for all of my pieces in April, other than for Shakespeare quotes, because that was like a focus on a finished piece. So I worked on that more or less every day until I finished it, which I think I did finish that pretty early in April, because my last update, I think I said I would be able to finish it by the following week, and I believe I did. I think I finished Shakespeare quotes on the 6th of April. So for most of the month, I just worked on my 1,000 stitch rotation through some pieces. So the first, oh, and I should mention that none of these whips are ironed. So if that offends you or you hate that, then I'm sorry, but I'm sorry, not sorry, because like it is what it is. I would never get an update if I had to iron my pieces every time, let's be honest. So it's either update you or iron. So, but anyway, the first whip that I worked on was actually Mini Nativity. And this is by Heaven and Earth Designs. Artwork is by Donna Gelsinger. I'll put here what it is going to look like when it's done. And I should hopefully still have a picture of what it looked like the last time you would have seen it. And this is where it is now. So I got a pretty good chunk done on this, and I got 1,004 stitches, and it is currently at 12.64%. And I'm trying to think what else. Oh, and I think this is on 22 count Hardanger Ada. By, what is the orange? Is that Witchelt? I can't remember. Not really important. But yeah, I really enjoy working on this one. At first, when I first started to work on it, and I was just up here in this tree, I couldn't see the tree when I was just kind of, up close to it, and I thought, oh, this isn't gonna look good. But now that I have way more of it done, I really like how it's turning out. And this is a mini version. So sometimes the mini versions, you have to be a little worried about, graininess and things, but I don't really think that looks grainy at all. I mean, the wise man there looks pretty good. I mean, obviously, if you're like right up close staring at it, it's gonna look grainy, but from a regular distance away, I think it looks pretty good. So that's that man there. He has a lot of confetti in him. So I think I mostly for this month worked on the blue, because I just was like, I think at the time just kind of wanting something easy, but I think I did every once in a while go down into the confetti section just to chip away at it a little bit. So yeah, I'm excited to bring this out again soon, hopefully. I'm kind of a little sneak peek of my plans. In June, I'm going back to a rotation style, but we'll talk about that a little later. So the next whip that I spun, because I have my rotation goes off of a wheel, it was Sweet Nectar by Heaven and Earth Designs. And I forget who the artist is, so I will put a picture of it here and put up who the artist is. I want to say it's not Amy Stewart, but I feel like it starts with an A. I don't know. I'm not going to guess because I can't even remember. But hopefully I have a picture of where it was the last time you saw it. Oh, I had the picture printed out ready for you. And it does not begin with an A. It's Molly Harrison. And I didn't need to put the picture up because there it is. I was like, oh, this is going to save me so much editing. And then I went and acted like that. Like I was just going to post it like I normally do. Oh, anyway, here is where it is now. So I got 1,014 stitches in this over the month of April, and it is now at 2.49%. I couldn't even go that little extra mile to get to 2.5%. Oh well, but this is fun. This is the Hummingbird's wing. So I have gotten to the Hummingbird. Generally, I was kind of trying to keep it kind of in columns, but I really just wanted to start in on the Hummingbird. So that's why I went down there, just for something, because this is all background. So I kind of feel like I'm going to need to like do something down here just to break up the monotony of just working on all these tans. And you know, every once in a while some green, but mostly tans as I go through there. So this is, it's like purpley colors. You can't really see that here, but they're like a dusty purple color. So that, which is really pretty. So I'm really looking forward to getting to this again in June. And spoiler alert, this is my second roll already for June. So I haven't started working on it yet, but yeah, I'm excited to get back to it, and I think I will work more in the wing this in June. And then the last roll that I had in April for my rotation was Midsummer Night's Dream Fairy, and this is by Mirabelia. Is it Mirabelia or Nora Corbett? Mirabelia, yeah. And this was a gift from some friends for my 40th birthday. And I've been working on it, but it is a paper pattern because I do not believe that Mirabelias come in PDFs. So you have to use the paper pattern. And I was trying to do like a lot of other people do and make copies of sections to, you know, to sustain or, you know, maintain the clearness of the original pattern. Guys, I couldn't deal with that. I just ended up shocking of shocks. I know you're gonna hate me, but I just had to mark up the actual pattern because the actual pattern is giant. Okay, and to try to make copies of a different page of the pattern was just, I can't be bothered. So the pattern is there for a reason. You're allowed to mark on it. Just go with it. Just do it. You know, I set you free from all the people who tell you you shouldn't mark on the actual pattern. Do it if you want. You don't have to sell the pattern later. You can just have it and it could be yours. So anyway, hopefully I have a picture of where it was the last time you saw it. And whoops, here she is now. So I am loving her. I am now seeing a lot more of the tree and the limb she's sitting on, and you can definitely tell she's a lady. I think I do try to count my stitches on this, even though it is a paper pattern. So I'm pretty sure I got 1,003 stitches on this in the month of April. So you can see that there's a lot of open spaces, but that's where the beads will go eventually. I decided to just wait until all the stitching was done to do the beads. And I think, oh, I guess this is 14 count Ada from hand-dyed Ada from, oh, I never remember what the name, Dying for Cross Stitch. Ooh, I'll put it on the screen. I always forget the name of the company. Anyway, Leanne from Small Town Stitches recommended her to me, and I do love that fabric. It is in the color Little Piggy. So I love that. And this one I definitely am not even gonna bother ironing until I'm done with all the stitching, because I'm just worried that I'm gonna ruin the color on it. I don't know why, but just kind of makes me nervous. So I didn't want to do it. So that is actually, oh, the other thing. No, there is one more thing. I did have a new start in April. No, did I have a? Yeah, it was April. Anyway, my friend Tara from Recovering Book Hoarder, her birthday was April 18th. And this is the only only whip I have that I have been continually working on up through today, so that you're going to see the progress up through June 8th. And actually, my plan is actually to try to finish it today because it is so small. But anyway, Tara gave me this pattern for my 40th birthday 2 years ago, and I decided to finally get it out to celebrate her birthday this year. So she was doing an actual sow for Wizard of Oz. Or no, was it Wizard of Oz? I think so. Yeah. But I didn't have anything readily available, so I was just like, I'm just gonna start the pattern that she bought me. So it is a really tiny piece, but this is where I am at the moment as of June. And I don't have a lot to go. I just have to do the end of the verse and the verse address, they call it. And yeah, and then it'll be done. I changed it up a little bit. Tara actually sent me all of these pretty variegated fancy flosses that are the called for flosses. And they were Colorworks and man, I was not prepared. I forget the other. There were two different brands. But I'm using all the called for colors, but I decided to do all of the words of the Bible verse in the brownish color, in the mustardy color. Just because these two colors were a lot already. So I was just like, let's just do the verse in its own color. I'm not great with variegated colors. I feel like I don't ever do them right. So you can see the variegation in these big leaves a little bit, but you can't really in anything else because I think I did it wrong. This is 18 count. Again, because I'm unprepared, I forget by whom, but she also sent me this this fabric, and it actually is like a purpley gray, or a grayish purple. But it's not, again, not really coming up true to color, but I really love it. And purple is like my favorite color, so I was very excited to get this fabric. And because this is so small, I have a lot more to work with if I have some other smalls that I can do on this fabric as well. So that's exciting. This one, she sent the fabric to me in a small enough count that she said it should be able to fit in in my A5 prayer journal that I was very slowly trying to fill up with some Bible verses, Bible verse patterns. I only have one in there right now, so this one will be a second one, and I do think that it will fit. It looks small enough that it'll fit, as long as I do it right. Because the first one I did, it was a little tight, and I think I snipped some of the stitching, but I don't think I'll have to do that with this one. I don't think I'll have to get that close. But yeah, I'm very excited about finishing this one. This one will definitely be done by my end of June update. And then the only other thing that I worked on was my May stitch. I participated in Monogamous May, and did I mark down? Yes, okay. And I had a considerably low stitch count total for May. May was my birthday month. It was my dad's birthday month. It was Mother's Day. It was Memorial Day. It was just all kinds of craziness. And we did have some actually nice days earlier in May. So there was a lot of more social time in May because I think everyone was all excited that we were finally able to like go out without having to put on so many layers and be worried about snow and all that stuff. So we were finally out of the winter doldrums for a while. Now we're kind of depressed again because all it's been doing is raining. And so, but anyway, for the month of May, for Monogamous May, I worked on Anne of Green Gables. And this is quick stitch, I believe, Anne of Green Gables. And I have also cropped it so that the big tree on the one side of it is a little cut off because ain't nobody need that much tree. So I here is where I started in May. And hold on, now I gotta go grab the piece because I put it way over on the other side of my desk. Okay, so I put up where it was the last time you saw it, or at the beginning of May. And here is where we are now. So obviously I worked on a ton of green in May. But yeah, we're finally seeing more of the house and starting to put in the windows. And yeah, it looks really good from far back like that. Sometimes close up, especially where the tree and the window kind of collide, you can't really tell what's a window and what's the tree. But I think right now I can tell more that that's a window peeking out from behind the tree. So yeah, I really am enjoying this. This is also, I believe, on a 22 count Hardanger Ada, and I got during the month 4,525 stitches put in this. So a good amount of work, even though it was a low stitch count month overall for me. This is a good amount of work, and I like doing Monogamous May for the reason that I'm always busy in May. So to just get a bunch of work on get a bunch of progress on one project is really nice for the month of May. Kind of lets my brain relax a little bit so that I don't have to keep thinking, oh, I gotta work on this project. Oh, I gotta spin my wheel for another project and dig that out, all that stuff. I don't have to do that. So I might continue to try to do Monogamous May for the foreseeable future. Maybe continue doing it with this project. I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it, really. So anyway, those are all of my projects for the last 2 months. I have a tiny little bit of haul that, if you give me 1 second, we'll show you. Okay, so the first thing that I actually forgot, I haven't actually even opened it yet, and I've had it for a few weeks. I probably should do that because what if I can't send it back and it's broken or something? I need to open it. So after this video, I will open it. I actually bought my first scroll frame. I don't even remember the company. I bought it at the recommendation of my friend Alicia from Adventures of Stitching. In Stitching of Stitching, I can never remember. But she also bought one and really hasn't used it yet. And I obviously haven't either yet. But I wanted to buy a scroll frame to use with my Lowry stand. But now I'm thinking that I need to buy the scroll frame like adapter or attachment for the Lowry stand. So that's going to have to be another purchase because I think that if I just try to clamp a scroll frame to the Lowry, it's just going to tip over unless I can weight it down a fair amount. So we'll see. I'll have to mess with it. Yeah, maybe I can actually put um, sweet nectar in it and see how it fits and yeah, if it'll work out. And then, because that's a pretty big project. So I bought the biggest one that I could find that seemed reasonable. So yeah, so we'll see. But I haven't even opened it yet, so I can't show it to you. But yeah, it's my first scroll frame, so we'll see. I bought it specifically for Midsummer Night's Dream Fairy for when I get around to the beading because I don't stitch in hand. I have no interest in stitching in hand, quite honestly, and I didn't really care to do that, just to do beading on that project. So that's the hope that I can use a scroll frame for that purpose. So then the next thing that I have I never do anything with needlework market. Is that what it's called? I never do anything with that. I don't find the need to, or feel the need to scramble to get patterns and things that are just going to end up being available to the public eventually anyway. That's just not my style. But Stephanie from Lindy Stitches kept showing this fabric called Curtain Call, and it is from Lap and Loops. I'm looking at it right now, and I just knew I had to have this. So, and I love to support Stephanie from Lindy Stitches whenever I can. So I wanted to buy from her. Well, of course, it got sold out multiple times. So I put like the please notify me thing on the website, and it did. So I just snapped it up as soon as I could. So here is this beautiful fabric. Oh, it's so pretty. Now it's not huge. It is I forget what I got. I think it's like I don't know, what is that? I want to say it's a fat half, but that doesn't seem, I don't know. It doesn't seem super big, but I am thinking about doing a long dog sampler on this, which I've never done a long dog before. I'm also thinking, because I've been seeing Laura from Stitching by the Shore, she has been doing a pattern from Lena Ova on Etsy. And those are typically, I think, supposed to be monochromatic stitches too. And I've been thinking about maybe trying to find one of those to put on here instead. So I don't know. This is a 20 count because I like 20 and 22 count best because I like to do one strand stitching. And then I asked on Instagram if like what color would somebody or would people think that would go, what would be a good color. And of course, I could just do black because red and black are usually a combo that goes together. Or I thought, white. But somebody actually talked about doing either like kind of like a totally monochromatic, in that I would do like a different red and just have it, what's that called when it's like tone on tone? Is that what it's called? But I'm not sure about that. I don't know if I would like that. But then somebody suggested like a very pale pink, so almost a white, but not quite white. And I think I like that idea. So I found a floche, DMC floche online that I might see if my Michaels has it. I think it is Apple Blossom, I think is the actual color of it. But I do want to do floche because Laura says that you just use one strand and the coverage is really good. So I haven't used floche yet. So I think that would be a pretty good plan for this. So anything that I think would look good. Or, you know, if I decide to do a long dog sampler, obviously I think I would have to, I don't know how big they typically are. Laura just finished one and it wasn't huge. So, and this looks about that, you know, bigger than the size of her long dog sampler that she did. So, I'm thinking that, you know, it's possible that I could could do a long dog on this slightly smaller piece of fabric. I'm just so used to having like giant pieces of fabric that this seems small to me. But anyway, if you there is a long dog sampler that I think is called the Queen of Hearts, and I thought that would look good with this and like a light pink floche. So that is like the one I'm leaning towards at the moment. And it would also go with Alice back there. Although I still have my Jane Eyre piece that I need to get a mat for to that matches this and put it on the other matching shadow box thingy that's over here that you can't see. Still have to do that. I'm so lazy sometimes. Like I just don't want to go to the store and have them do all that. But I just have to do it and pay for it. It's not like I'm doing the cutting. I'm not doing any of the work other than giving them the measurements and giving them my money. I don't know. I'm just lazy. So anyway, that was my big fabric purchase, and I almost never order fabric without having a plan. And I haven't really done anything but order white Aida for so long because I've been doing, you know, full coverages forever that I don't feel the need to buy fancy fabric for a full coverage that you're not going to see the fabric. So this is like a big purchase for me, and I'm very excited to use it, but I have to get something done first. And then my last purchase was an impulse purchase. Jordan, who is the tattooed stitcher on YouTube and Instagram, she makes project bags, and she I think just she sells them just on Instagram, I believe. So she put a bunch of bags that she'd made on Instagram, and I just happened to like it and comment on it that, oh, that's so cute. Not really at the time, not really intending to purchase it. I just was like, I don't know, it was just like kind of impulsively like, oh, that's so cute. And then so a little while later, Jordan messaged me back on my comment and said, well, it's still available if you would like it. And I thought, well, okay, sure. So I bought her Christmas hedgehog bag. It is so cute. I love hedgies so much, and I love Christmas. And whoop, came with a little charm, little toadstool charm, and a butterfly. Is that a butterfly or moth? Oh, I think it's maybe a moth. And then let's look at the inside. It has a cute plaid, Christmassy plaid on the inside. And I like this one too, because as much as I like to be able to see my projects on the vinyl, it feels impractical as well because it can get hot and things can stick to it and then it gets all yucky. So I like that I can just put something in here and you know, maybe this might be a new contender for my mini nativity stitch for a project bag for that, or if I start something new that's Christmassy themed, then I have a bag all ready for it. So it's very well made. So if you ever get a chance to buy a tattooed stitcher bag, I highly recommend. It's very nice. It's very like it's not like quilty, but it's very soft. So yeah, I love it. Thank you, Jordan. That was the best impulse purchase I've made so far this year. But anyway, I think that is it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. we're at 47 minutes, so I'll just talk plans for June real quick, and then I will let you go. Um, my plans for June are to have a rotation wheel again, but I think I'm going to do my friend Leanne. She was doing, although she's put it on hold for a while. She was doing like a 2 week focus um, for the month, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a 2 week or 2,000 stitch rotation. I like them. I like the 1,000 stitch rotation. It's fun. It's fine. But I just thought, I'd switch it up a little bit, work on maybe less projects, but have a bigger stitch count goal. So we're gonna do 2 weeks or 2,000 stitches, whichever comes first, and then we'll switch to another project. Same thing, and then it's either just those two projects I work on that month, or if I get the 2,000 stitches done before the 2 weeks is up, then I might get a third project in there. But that might make for a low project count for my next Flosstube, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. We just might end up having a short Flosstube, or maybe I will throw some book content in at the end of my June update. We'll see. I don't know. But because I'm getting a little bit, I'm at least getting back into audiobooks this month. Not so much physically reading, although that is going to be changing a little bit as of tomorrow, Monday the 9th. I'm going to be physically reading a little bit more for a challenge. So I'll talk about my challenge that is not really, it's not stitching related. So if you're just here for stitching and stuff, I hope you have a nice June, and I'll see you for my June update. But if you like the life stuff, I'll tell you what's going on in June. First of all, starting June 1st, my friend Alicia and I have started a Bible in 90 days project. So that should take us from June 1st through August 28th or 29th, I believe. And we should be able to read the whole Bible in those 90 days. We are utilizing an audio Bible a lot for, if not exclusively, for this. But I'm trying to at least start out my day reading physically with my eyeballs, and then like whatever, if I can't get it done by the evening, then I will listen to the rest via audiobook. So I'm trying to physically read it as much as possible. But along with that, Alicia and Leanne and I have randomly decided we are going to try it's kind of a fitness, mental fitness, mental toughness challenge that was originally called the 75 hard. And but since that was created, I guess there is now a 75 soft and a 75 medium. So the 75 hard does sound too hard, for me at least. It is, you have to pick a diet plan and stick to that diet plan 100% for the 75 days, no cheating. You can't drink alcohol at all. And you have to read 10 pages of a nonfiction book you have every day. You have to drink a gallon of water a day, and you have to take a daily progress picture. That's, I guess, for the weight loss fitness portion of it. Oh, and you have to do 2 45-minute workouts a day. One of them has to be outside. So that challenge just felt like too much for a just normal person who works an 8:30 to 5 job, and has other commitments. I was like, I cannot commit to 2 45-minute workouts a day, plus one of them being outside, especially when I look outside almost every day for the last 2 months and it's raining. I'm not not dedicated enough for that. So, and I don't remember the specifics for the soft version, but I am at least going to try to do like a medium version, which my goals are going to be to just healthy eating, um, and for me that's going to be like um, very minimal to no sweets or snacking during the week. I will let myself slide a little bit on the weekends. Um, the soft version, I know you are allowed to socially drink just for like social events. I'll probably just do that, or let myself have like a glass of wine on the weekends, um, which is pretty much what I do a lot of times anyway. When I decide to like cut out a lot of my alcohol, I let myself have a little bit on the weekends. I don't go crazy, but I never go crazy anyway. But like 1 or 2 glasses of wine or a beer if I'm out with friends. So so there's that. So I'm allowed to drink socially, or on weekends, and I'm allowed to just eat healthy, which like not a specific diet plan, just eating healthy. So, which I feel like I generally do anyway. It's just going to be cutting out a little bit more of like carbs, snacks. Not that I snack a lot, but a little bit, and sugar as much as I can. And what else? What else? Oh, and then I'm going to try to drink half a gallon of water a day. I have a big half-gallon thermos that I seem to have a hard time drinking all of it during a typical day. So that's why I just want to do a half-gallon of water. The 10 pages a day is going to be my Bible, because I am trying to read as much of that physically as possible anyway. And it's weekly progress pics, which I think I can pretty easily do. And what else? Oh, and one 45-minute workout a day, which for me is probably going to be a walk, because I normally walk anyway with my dad on my lunch breaks. That usually is roughly 45 minutes. So 45 minutes of walking a day plus a another workout in the evening, but it doesn't have to be any set time. Like I can do a 15-minute weights workout, or I can do a 30-minute cardio or whatever. But that second workout doesn't have a time limit on it. It's just going to depend on what's going on in the evenings. But I do have to do some form of extra workout every day. And what else? Is that it? I think that's it. So yeah, I don't feel like for me it's going to be super tough. And this makes me sound bad whenever I say the toughest part for me is no weekday wine, because I've just kind of gotten into a habit basically of my wine down at night includes a glass of wine. And the reason I'm drinking this right now is because it is the last of the wine that is in my fridge. So I'm drinking it so that tonight, even though it's Sunday, won't have any wine tonight. And then we'll just continue on with it for the rest of the week. So that's the plan anyway. We'll see. It's not even, 75 days, so it's not even 3 months. I feel like it should be really doable. And I'm going to try to, um, not journal it. Document it. Maybe on my Instagram somewhat, but probably no progress pictures on Instagram, unless I can, find like a shirt that is modest enough, and but even that, I don't feel like posting that on Instagram, so I probably won't do that. But I will take the progress pictures for myself, and then maybe at the end of it, if there is like a significant difference, then maybe I will, put the beginning and ending progress pics. But I'll just have to make sure that I am fully clothed in modest clothing, because there's no way I'm posting any like bathing suit pictures or anything online. So yeah, that's gonna be an interesting summer for me. The 90-day Bible challenge and the 75 medium. It'll be definitely something. So, but that's really all I have going on for this summer that I can think of. The rest of it's just going to be day trips with my family, boating. We have a boat that we take out on our local lake every once in a while. And I say we, my parents have a boat. I have nothing. But I get to participate in the boating. Um, and yeah, just hopefully being kind of social and still getting my crafting in. So yeah, in June, hopefully I will have a knitting haul for you, and hopefully a finished flutter butt shirt that hopefully fits. I will definitely have to report back to you on that. We will see. I don't know. I'm a little bit concerned, but we'll see. Anyway, friends, I hope you are having a good start to your summer. I hope the weather is better for you than it is for me. And I don't mind that it's not like 90 plus degrees, but I would like it to stop raining anytime now. Would be lovely. If anybody needs rain, you can have ours. Take it. We don't want it anymore. All right, friends. I have been talking long enough, and I will talk to you at the end of June. Bye.